minutes are already, if the school wants money, we can go down there and give them money, but we're not gonna make this bullshit.
Welcome back to Comedy or Worse. I'm here with my special guest,
Randy Villarba. Hi.
Yay.
Internet.
Do you use a stage name at all?
Just my birth name. I had the conversation about what I should have a fucking stage name, because who the fuck's gonna remember Villarba? And 10 years in, people I know are still fucking up my name, so I should have gone with a stage name, but now I don't know, I feel like I've been doing it long enough, I might as well just stick with it. So yeah, Randy Villarba, no stage name.
Sweet.
How about you?
Yep, that's my name.
Okay. No,
Always
okay.
been my name, Aaron Trahan.
Okay, so no stage name.
Nope.
It's not like Trey Hansberger or something. No.
Not that I know of. Somebody could have switched it.
Probably when they
Nobody
immigrated.
really know. So how did you get into comedy?
Well, cliche. I've always loved comedy. As a kid, I actually had. You remember those Teddy Ruxpins?
Yeah.
I had an Alf one, and in it I used to put fucking Sam Kinison cassette tape that Sam Goody sold to me. Well, way too young. So as a little kid, I learned all the curse words through comedy albums I shouldn't have known. So I was teaching everyone in elementary school all the bad words and bits, and I don't know. I've always been drawn to comedy, but I never really did it till I was in my 30s. I was a construction worker doing electrical cabling between here and the East Coast, basically building Skynet. And
Wow.
I wasn't able to smoke weed back then. Yeah.
All the way from.
Yeah, technically with data center that's recording this podcast and all of our actions, I laid down the infrastructure, and then just in a drunken stupor, I was just pissed off, and it snapped mentally in me. And then one day I came home, my roommate's like, "Hey, I'm trying to get that stupid open mic you were fucking talking about all these times." and like I lived with her for 3 years, and then she dragged me to American Comedy Company. I didn't get up, and then she dragged me again the next week. I didn't get up. And then the third week, I went up and I didn't do good, but I didn't suck. And that was 10 years ago.
Wow, that's super cool. So who was hosting back then?
Sam Wise. I think he still does. I still think he does comedy up in LA. Last I saw, but he's not in my algorithm. So if he's still doing it.
That's cool. So did you get addicted to comedy like right away, or?
Yeah, I remember I got off stage. There was this other comic, Oliver Bascos, and he told me about The Office in North Park. Heather Turnman was the comic who was running that bar mic. So I was like, oh shit, a bar mic. So that went to the Wednesday at The Office. Then I found out about Winston's, and then it literally just turned into what I did. I was an electrician for a little bit longer, but as I hit the road, started doing mics as they sent me all over the U.S. And when I came back to San Diego, I would do mics. But yeah, I'd say within the first month of doing it, it became part of a regular thing.
Oh yeah.
I just got the bug and couldn't stop.
So you were traveling for work, or?
Yeah. I worked for this company. We basically did like security cabling, AV cabling for, like I said, the data centers that built Skynet, and just commercial cabling. But yeah, traveled all throughout the U.S. and got to see all the different things from like Wheeling, West Virginia, to fucking Des Moines, Iowa, to fucking Jersey, New York, Boston, like the thick of it. So it gave me this whole, I don't know, as a San Diegan perspective in my head, meeting people. Just kind of opened up my, I don't know, opinions on things.
That's cool. So what is your writing process for comedy?
Now, I definitely have the thoughts and premises, but I like to write mostly on stage. So, coming to mics like here at the Madhouse or wherever, I like doing my writing on stage because I like delivering the way I would normally talk with my friends. And when I first started, I used to write like, you know, because I was a writer first, like notebook, write the jokes out. But then I always felt like I was just reading my jokes. Like I say, the last 4 or 5 years, I've caught myself with like I have this premise, and I would think it through, but I wouldn't really formulate the joke until I brought it to a mic or on stage, because I want to be able to tell it the way I would normally talk. Because I feel like my writing voice, or just the way I write, is differently than the act that I'm building. So I just want to make sure that I'm still delivering the act that I'm building.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So, when do you, I don't always remember this question, but when did we meet?
It's got to be over like when pandemic stopped. Cause were you doing the parking lot mics over pandemic?
Not a lot.
Yeah. Cause I was living in Vegas when pandemic started. Was over in Mammoth, and then moved here about 2 years ago. Like I was between there, Vegas, Mammoth. With work I still had in Mammoth and Vegas, and started doing the parking lot mics. I think probably when Madhouse reopened up for the regular mic. Was probably about the time we met, so it's got to be a little bit over here, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I smoke a lot of weed, so
Yeah. Oops.
I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah, especially if I didn't meet you in the parking lot mics. I mean, there's so many fucking comics. That list is what, 80 people deep on a weekend now. I can't remember all your fucking names.
Yep, totally understand. So, have you been traveling for comedy recently?
Past few months, I did a show up in Portland. I did a couple dates in Vegas. I like going back to Vegas a lot when I can, because it's like another city to try your material, so you're not stuck writing for a Southern California bubble. Going to Portland was cool because I mean, the blueness or darkness of my act. It was really good to see how Portland, the hard to cancel culture and sensitivity dealt with my jokes, which kind of gave me confidence. Had a show up in Costa Mesa. I know Evan Cassidy runs a show at the Hartman. Did a show up in San Clemente, Orange County. I used to live up in San Clemente for a few years, so been trying to branch out a little bit more the last few months because I feel like I just kind of been stuck in the San Diego comfort zone, which is a good place. I mean, good mics to work shit out, but you grow as you get out. So yeah, definitely need to hit the road more.
That's cool. So do you have any hobby or passion that is not related to comedy?
Aside from sex, snowboarding. I love sex and snowboarding. Definitely love snowboarding. Because I lived up in Mammoth for 10 years. Used to work for Flow Snowboards, so I used to work in the industry. I've been skiing since I was 3. So when winter hits in comedy, I kind of downshift because I kind of pay attention a little bit more to the storm track and try to get days on the hill. And occasionally, do a couple shows up there with Eastern Sierra Comedy books a couple shows at like Mammoth Brewery, and I know Distant Brewery occasionally is letting me do a couple shows up there. I can't help but do comedy, even when I'm chasing other passions. Because I'm like, I'll be in Ski Town snowboarding, and I'm like, what? Open mic? Fuck this. Yeah, they give me 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. So do you wish you started comedy earlier?
Yeah, I didn't start comedy until my early 30s, and the biggest thing for me was I didn't know that could have been a path, and being Asian with Tiger mom and Tiger dad, fucking Asian parents, it's like, get a job, your degree, and then your career path, which is great, it's made me stable, but just in hindsight, because as I started in my 30s and most of the comics, were surrounded by her in their 20s, I would have loved that head start. Because but then again, in my 20s, I was snowboarding, throwing myself off cliffs and 60-foot kickers. So I don't want to trade that either. But as a comic, I wish, I had those years to kind of work shit out more. But I started when I started, and like Rodney Dangerfield didn't start till his 50s, so I still got a head start on him. So
Yeah.
I started when I was supposed to start. Would have liked to get a head start because you know what it's like hitting on these young comics? It's difficult when you're the old one. Like, just serious.
Let's see. What are your goals in comedy?
The goalposts on those have actually shifted, and it's something that I've actually been talking about with a few friends of mine. When I started comedy, I wanted to work my way into a writer's room. Like I was always enamored by like fucking political comedy. Like in the 80s, it was not necessarily the news. Then it was like the old Weekend Update, SNL, like back with like you know Dennis Miller, fucking Norm Macdonald, fucking Kevin Nealon. Back when I feel like you were actually punching back at government. So I've always been allured to that. Then when The Daily Show came out, Craig Kilborn was amazing because that was narcissism in a package, perfect. Then it became Jon Stewart, which I felt was politically pushing back on what the fuck we're living in. It gave us the ability to question things.
Yeah.
Fast forward to where we are now, and I realize it's all owned by Viacom, and it's all just a talking piece. It might as well be CNN or NPR or whatever. My goal of wanting to work in that writer's room is kind of non-existent. So it leads me to just a little bit more of my punk rock, fucking rude boy ska roots of against authority, against establishment, pigeonholed by comedy for the love of the craft, and for the love of that's like the true freedom of expression.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do your own thing.
Yeah, but I smoke weed and I'm lazy.
Okay.
No, but no, it's just for me. I definitely have aspirations. It's still my role for like, yeah, I want to work on the Daily Show one day. That was a goal when I started comedy. Then I saw Trevor Noah, and I'm like, why the fuck does this South African tell us Americans what to do when I can't name one fucking joke that he's uttered and this made me laugh, but he's had a career. That's when like I felt like the veil had been removed from my goal in comedy, and for me, I'm an artist. I hope what I write will strike that chord that will make people think. They don't need to fucking agree with me. Hopefully, if you watch my comedy, hopefully they don't agree with some of the fucking dark shit I come up with. But it's, I just want to be an artist. Not, you know, and hopefully I'm received by the people who actually understand that kind of art.
Yeah, definitely. Makes sense. So do you have like a favorite joke?
You mean of mine or in general?
Whatever you think when I say that, could be anybody's joke.
I mean, I'd have to say, like, not in general, but I'd say, like, the origins of, like, just comedy in general. I was, like, that young kid, you know, Filipino household, like, all my extended family, they're all playing mahjong. It's the weekend. Everyone's staying up till, like, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, because that's, you know, what parents would do. So I'm there, the young kid with elder cousins, you know, watching fucking Eddie Murphy Raw, watching all these things that I shouldn't be watching as a kid. Do I have one favorite joke? It's kind of hard because to me, I look at more so as
Or a comedy album? Or...
Comedy album? This is so hard. It's like, what's your favorite album? I could say what's in my car. I don't know. I'd just say most recent, but I'm not going to tell other people's jokes. Across the street, Balboa Theater, I just saw Anthony Jeselnik. And for me, he is the king of dead baby jokes. Like, it's just, his shtick, you know where it's going. It's like a fucking horror movie funhouse. Being someone who likes that darkness, that gallows humor approach of source material for comedy, I like dark jokes. I've had a good life. I've had a lot of dark, fucked up things happen in my life. But overall, I mean, I'm living in a fucking town that's not hearing bombs go off as neighbors get fucking level with the ground. Because we're sitting on $3 trillion worth of oil, but that's a different story. But yeah, I like the dark shit. Can't help but make fun of it because there's no sense of it if you think about it rationally. Who the fuck is on stage that's ruining this pop now?
People keep opening the door.
It's just all these people that are booked.
Do you have like a favorite fan interaction?
I signed a pair of tits once. That was fun. It was Lions Lair, open mic, Denver. I don't think she was a comic, but she was hammered. That was nice. Mondays, Denver, if you're over there. Great mic. Off Colfax.
So, would she lift up her shirt or like what was the process?
Yeah, just did the pull down. It would be nice if it was like the pull up and then like, yeah, no. It was a nice rack.
Sweet. So what is your favorite place to do comedy?
Anyone, anywhere, someone's listening? No, the first one that comes to mind because it's Friday, The Journey at 12:30, Las Vegas. Place is epic. Fucking, it doesn't start till past 12:30. It's free fucking comedy show, fucking standing room only in Vegas, South Point Casino, run by Gabe Lopez. It was started by Ralphie May, but I miss Vegas, like, and that room is magic. First one that comes to mind. Of course, like, yeah, I love the room we're in now. This is the brick room of the Madhouse, and there's something fucking special about the open mics that we get 7 days a week, you know, thanks to Robert. That ability to bark these people walking through here reminds me of, like, you know, my brief time living out in New York. It's just that vibe of barking people into a club, and it's like a wash, and it allows us to shop material and rework bits faster at a faster pace. And I feel confident saying that because, you know, if people are listening to that, that's a good cheat code. The list is 80 comics long, so feel free to, you know, come late to the game.
So do you have any merch?
I sell weed occasionally. No, just no. I should. I just don't. Going back to the lazy. I should. I know another comic bought a house off a T-shirt based off a highway sign that's not even there anymore, but he doesn't know it because he's blind. That's way too inside. Pat DeGear, he sells this T-shirt that has like the Mexicans crossing, but it's like it's a reveal at this stage. No one's listening, anyways. But yeah, he bought a house off his merch, so I know that's something. I know you have your merch, so you're ahead of the game there.
Well, you know, just trying my best.
And we all are.
Is it recording? Okay, thank God.
All right, question 1.
So what was your family like growing up?
Honestly, I was blessed. Mom and dad, immigrants from the Philippines, came over in the 70s. All my siblings, immigrants. I was born here, so I didn't need to learn Tagalog. You know, I just learned English. At that point, my siblings had dealt with, you know, like the racism that you can expect. So when I was born, it was like Americanized Randy as quickly as possible. So I was whitewashed in the suburbs, surfing and skating. It was nice. In high school, I felt like I was the Asian Zach Morris, because I kind of was. I was driving my car across campus in the middle of passing periods just to move my car from parking lot to parking lot and just getting yelled at by the principal. So yeah, I got away with a lot of shit.
Why would you move?
Childhood was fun. Yeah.
Why would you move your car?
Why not? You had a 10-minute passing period, and I had enough time to get in my car and then wave hi to the security guard that I would see at the high school keggers. Because, yeah, we would party with our high school security guards for some reason. And then I would just drive my car across campus to the other lot. Just because I could. Just to find out if I could get away with it. And then when I found out I could, I did it quite a bit. probably going back to the Dirty Troll 30. I mean, that's like fucking like easily 300 plus packed.
Damn. How do you get on that show?
Go to Las Vegas and you can find out. Like, Gabe Lopez has been running that show since Ralphie May and him started it. It's the hottest show in Las Vegas, honestly. Every comic and their mom in Vegas is, wanting to do that show too. So it's kind of like, the people coming through, obviously, they deserve to be on that stage. And when I got my moment, it was like definitely like a bucket list moment living in Vegas. I was grateful when I got my moment up there, and looking forward to the next one too.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So do you do any other art?
Used to play music. I still do. Used to be in a band, like ska band back in the 90s. Toured quite a bit. Broken Pretzel. we were actually the support act for Real Big Fish, MXPX, back in the 90s.
Awesome.
I just play music for myself now because it's just, I don't know, being in a band's like dating, and I'm not good at dating either. So it's just kind of like, I like playing music for myself. Most of my artistic expressions wrapped up in comedy now.
Sweet. So where did you grow up?
San Diego. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you or would you ever do a character on stage?
To some extent, I feel like my act is a character, because like, if I met my stage persona, I think I'd probably punch me. So there's a little bit of separation of act. I mean, I'm not as racist, not as misogynistic as I am on stage. I mean, we have our tendencies because stereotypes exist, but also at the same time, I have a good heart. And the person on stage definitely feels like he doesn't have one.
So have you ever won like a comedy contest or anything like that?
I placed third place in Ace's Comedy Club up in the Inland Empire, Rocky Osborne's old club, and that's not anything to brag about, but to me it was like a really good moment for me because I didn't think I'd make it that far because it's fucking all the way up there like in Temecula. Like, it was a long drive and that's fucking annoying. So at every stage that I kept winning, I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna have to drive back up here. But the part that I loved about where I placed was by the time I got to the final, like, I knew I didn't bring anybody. So it was an audience of people I didn't know. Right. And about 15 minutes before I went on stage, my best friend called me to tell me his mom passed away.
Nice.
So I literally had that moment of like his mom had been there my entire life. So I literally had that sinking moment of like losing someone. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta go on stage and tell jokes. And then, I went on stage and, placed third. And I don't know. So it's a moment where I know I still killed that room, did well at a time when I mentally honestly wasn't there.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
And other competitions, roast battle, and 2-0-1. So those kind of count as competitions, I guess.
So have you ever been like on Kill Tony or something?
Been on Kill Tony twice. The first time they came out to La Jolla Comedy Store. You can search for the episode. If you find the episode, please send me the link. Because I think it got removed just due to everything that we said back then. Because cancel culture. It was a different time back then. I was fortunate to meet Brian and Tony and all those guys back when Josh Martin was actually helping produce the podcast. It was like before I was a comic, I was driving up to the Comedy Store to watch Kill Tony in the belly room. So I got to know those guys back then. So when they first came down here, I was in La Jolla, and then when I was living out in Las Vegas, I was on the Las Vegas episode. Want to go out to Austin, also at the same time, I drive an FJ and need gas money, so I'll get out there eventually. That's a really good question. I mentioned that I've lived a good life, but it's definitely been intertwined with a lot of fucked up, dark moments, and just being trapped in more dark moments in life than I could count. The only thing I could do was laugh, and even before I was a comic, I'd always have that dark sense of humor, because like sometimes when you're staring at the wall, it's fucking all you can do. So for me, it's just drawing the lines of why the fuck do you laugh when things are that bleak. I don't know why, but there's that just connection between comedy and tragedy, and that's, as a writer, I know that link exists. You know, through psychology and just the writing that precedes us. You know, going to like old fucking plays to just comedy in general. I just found myself watching dark comedy and appreciating it. I like and can appreciate not dark comedy, but it's not something that I would seek out.
Okay.
It's kind of like I like aggressive music. I won't seek out country. It's
Right.
the type of art I like.
So the man, I have a question.
They're written down there.
Yeah, I've already gone through them all.
Okay.
What was it? So so what has been your favorite town to live in?
Well, San Diego's a cheat code because I'm born and raised here. I'm comfortable here. My family's here. Taking San Diego out of the equation, I mean, I miss Vegas. I love Vegas. I'm fucking night owl, insomniac. Like leaving here multiple hours, it makes me miss Vegas because you can always find something open. You can find people conscious, willing to have a conversation at all hours. I smoke weed and always like eating, so you could always find restaurants. But comedy, you could hammer in multiple mics a night. Like once you get networked, you could get booked multiple places a night. What I loved about Vegas too, the ability to travel. Like it's cheap to fly everywhere, in and out if you time it right. So to be able to hit spots everywhere, it's affordable to range from it. So, and it's a different audience for sure, like a different tone of crowd. Definitely more akin to the darker and bluer and gallows humor, which is definitely where I've anchored in. I would have to put Orange County, San Clemente second though.
Okay. So do you listen to any like comedy podcasts right now?
The main podcast I've been listening to recently has been the Jimmy Dore Show with Jimmy Dore, Kurt Metzger, and Tim Dillon's podcast. Those two have definitely been the ones that I've been listening to. Lex Friedman, non-comedy podcast, I listen to quite religiously. I'd say those three are the three podcasts I listen to mostly.
Okay. Cool. So what about, do you ever do you have sketches or anything?
Yeah, but I've never really taken the time to see them through. I went to school at San Diego State, actually a creative writing emphasis, did a lot of screenplay writing. So I do have sketches, but I don't know. I need to get back to that, to be honest. I just never taken the time to go, hey, I should cast this and film this. I do have one in mind that I am working with actually a couple people, so to be determined. So hopefully, yeah, I'm gonna give myself to try to get this one through because I think it's a good bit. I would love to start getting into sketch writing more for sure. It just gets back to I was a writer before I was stand up. So yeah.
So, what about improv? Did you ever do improv?
No, I haven't. I feel like with improv and stand-up, it's like Bloods and Crips, or like Palestinians and Israelis. I appreciate the art of improv, and I've seen comics grow by taking it. But like you're yawning, it's just me. I just can't picture myself in it. It's just more power to the people who do improv art. I just
work too much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it goes back to being in a band. You're committing to it with other people counting on you, and it's just like with work and then my own stand up. I'm not saying never, but it's just that my life up to this stage, I haven't foreseen myself doing improv yet.
Okay.
And if I was doing improv, I'd never admit it.
You're like, I'm just getting better on my own.
No, that's just another Asian that looks like me. He doesn't wear glasses.
Yeah. He bumps into it. Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
No
This was
way.
cool. Yeah.
And then what's the best way for the public to get a hold of you?
I'm on the social medias, not all of them because I'm in my 40s. I'm on Instagram at Randy Villarba, on Twitter at Randy Writes, WRITES. Threads is also at Randy Villarba. Facebook, I have like my personal page and public profile page.
Yeah.
I have a website, but I haven't really done anything with it. So at randywrites.com or randywrites.com if I ever decide to do anything with it. So you never know when people are watching this. Maybe you got 1 year.
That's true. Yeah, I've been banking episodes, so to like calculate, somebody once a week trying to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, it's good. It's good that you're doing the podcast. I mean, it's something that you got to keep doing.
Yeah.
Like I tried launching one ages ago, but it's just the follow through. After a while, I'm like, oh, I'm only getting 19 views, and then I stopped.
Oh yeah, 19 views would be good. So far, Rudy's beating all you people.
Fuck yeah, Rudy.
Rudy has the
Love you, Rudy.
most views.
Yeah,
One, get
Rudy
it
Ortega has the best Lusso joke. If you ever see him doing comedy, ask for it.
Yes, definitely. Alrighty. Yeah, so ending the podcast now because ran out of questions, and also we have a limited time because we're gonna do live comedy here in the Brick Room. So remember, everybody, go out and see live comedy. It's the best. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you get to watch us in here. But it's been another episode of Comedy Wars. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron.